This is episode 31st of Shock Assistant with the queen of the open water.
Yes.
Swim junkie herself, Coach Betsy Medalla. Yeah. And we have a special guest with episode 19, the most listened to podcast last year, 2024, Vanessa Abdon. Yeah. Both of you are teammates from our Navy Tribals.
Yes, yes.
So we have a special guest for today. No? So, by the way, my name is Robben Ramos and the host, Shock System Podcast. This show brings people, their multi-sport journey, how they were able to touch lives, bring positive change to their communities in multi-sport or endurance sports. So we're going to talk about open water swimming. Yeah. So I think one relevant also topic that we can talk about open water is that how they can overcome the fear of open water swimming. No? If you can relate it to as an endurance athlete, triathlete, or if you're just, but basically if you are an endurance swimmer, this is an endurance swimmer like Coach Betsy here. Diba? So, let's start. Okay. So, Coach Betsy, unahin muna natin. Yung how SwimJunkie. Kasi how SwimJunkie started. Now, I know that for a fact that in 2014, when you went to Cape Town, South Africa with Coach Julian Valencia, you swam that's basically a museum now, di ba? Prison na siya ngayon, so yung Robben Island. Right? Oh, very nice. When you swam, doon to you na gusto mong to do destination swimming. Di ba? Here in the Philippines, di ba? Ano yung talagang the purpose? Maraming may why eh. Diba? Si Coach Vanessa sa interview niya, maraming may why yan.
Why am I doing this?
Why you do this yan? So, yung SwimJunkie, ano yung pinaka-purpose yan? Is it just destination swimming or there was a deeper meaning to it?
Well, there are two things. The first is SwimJunkie, maybe, I guess, me, persona. That started before the Robben Island swim. The Robben Island swim was a result of SwimJunkie, the persona, or the maybe character. but
Your IG handle.
Yes. And the SwimJunkie started because of Army Navy South Tribe. I started taking videos of the teammates and their swims. And then I had all of this content, back when content wasn't even a thing. Yes, yeah. I had so much content. I didn't know what to do with it. So I put up a Facebook page. I started posting on Instagram when everything was so early. And then I made a blog. And then from that blog, I got invited.
Ano pa to, no? Vlog
Post with a B.
Oo.
And from the blog, I started getting invited to do little talks, and I started getting invited to do articles in sports magazines and in the newspaper, all about swimming and correcting your swimming. And then that got me noticed by Buddy Kunanan, who organized. He organized the South Africa commemoration swim. It really was a commemoration swim to thank South Africa for being the first to respond to typhoon relief efforts at the time. And so this was a commemorative swim. I was chosen to do it. And they asked, do you want to have a second person join you on the swim? I said, yes, it's Julian Valencia. Because we had to make sure it's the first time the Philippines would ever attempt the crossing. Because 16% of all foreign, at the time, 16% of all foreign crossings were successful. The rest failed. So it's such a small amount of people who are not from South Africa who are failing that because it's so cold. It's so cold. It's so cold.
Ilang?
10 to 13 degrees. With a suit, only a bathing suit.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to wear rubber. No wetsuit. It's a regular suit.
Coach Julian not come still.
Yeah, Julian was in. Yeah.
Ipapakita natin.
I have everything.
Okay.
So that's SwimJunkie made that happen. I'm so sorry. SwimJunkie made that happen. And then while I was swimming, that's first, of course, I was concentrating on the swim. And then I hit the 7-kilometer mark, which is the real distance from point A to point B in that swim.
Yeah.
But because of the current, they made us swim in a letter C so that we went this way. And then on the way back, at least the current would bring us back to the finish line, because the finish line had the clinic. So if we had gone in a completely straight line, for sure we would have gone left and we would have missed the clinic, and that's dangerous in case someone has hypothermia, which Julian did have. When he finished, he was in a mild state of hypothermia when he finished the swim. So he was brought direct to the clinic after the swim. So they made us do letter C. So at 7K, I could see we're so far back. That's when I started, all of these different thoughts started entering my head. And then first I was praying the rosary. Then next I was thinking, probably we can do this in the Philippines. But it's pleasant, it's sunny, I know we have really beautiful beaches. So it started there. SwimJunkie challenge.
Yan na yun.
The idea.
Okay.
Yes.
And 2014, so 25th, after a year?
After a year.
You brought it already?
Yeah. Yeah.
When was the first? Where was this? Caramoan. Yeah. Tanong ka ba, Coach Vanessa?
Lagi wala akong budget. Kasi always October ko.
Yeah.
By October, parang pumusad na mag-budget.
Parang ito pero ngayon, ang dami ng SwimJunkie challenge.
Yes.
Kumbaga, it's spread out. I know strategically in a calendar year, di ba? Para it can be a training also for an A race, most likely. No?
Yeah.
So, when you started, ilan pa lang?
Yeah, in Caramoan, the first time we launched, we had 115 people.
115.
115.
Oh.
Yes. But that was a big deal because it was the very first single loop na 7 kilometers long. All races before that were like 500 meters, and then you did multiple loops like like a hamster.
Yeah.
And it was the first time you would have to do that long swim once. You never touched the same point until you finished. So
Wow.
yeah, I was
Bucket list na rin siya.
yeah, like 115 at that time was like, wow, ang dami pala. Because I didn't think we would get that many on the first.
Ngayon, Coach, ilan na?
Caramoan, we have 250. We have 400 in Lobo, and 250 in Camiguin. Then when we did have El Nido also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, El Nido. Nalala ko.
Yeah.
I have good friends na sumali dyan sa El Nido, yung binagyo.
Oh my God.
Ako yun. Hindi niya yung makalimutan, actually.
Oh, that was wild. Wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Caramoan started, and then what was the next, Coach? Lobo. Okay, alright. Lobo. I joined Lobo last year. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lakas ng current.
Yeah. Solid.
Amongst, Coach, just said lang ako kung in the demographics, are there more male, more female, and ano yung mga age group?
Okay. But the races are batched into decades. So 10 to 19, 20 to 29, all the way up. The thickest age group would be not in terms of waist. Not in terms of waist.
Kala ko waist.
The thickest would be 40 to 49.
Oh,
Yeah.
age group ko.
Yeah. Followed by 30s. Followed by 30s. And then surprisingly the 50s. Not the 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it might be because it's very similar to the destination races of, for example, Ironman. You spend a lot. So the 20s are still trying to grow there. No?
Oo nga. So yun pala yung age group nun. Ano yung nasalihan mo, Coach Van, na medyo nahirapan ka?
Medyo mahirap.
Oo. Or every swim junkie challenge was
Di kasi parang ang saya kasi sa SwimJunkie, sobrang organized ni Coach. Kasi alam niya na kung anong gagawin. So parang he really takes care of everything for the athlete. So that's what's so special about yung mga events ng SwimJunkie PH. So sabi nga, like, I have athletes asking, like, telling me, Bobby, it's so pricey. It's like, hindi kasi talagang they're gonna take care of you talaga. It is highest level, like the first aid is there, the hydration is there, the place is 100% sobrang ganda, and you're really gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna be taken care of. So, that, sinistress ko sa kanila. So, they go.
And they come back.
And they come back.
Personal experience ko, ang daming support tao na naka-station dyan. It's talaga siya. I mean, you're taken care of and you get value for money, definitely. Oh.
They know what to do. Your guys know what to do.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yeah.
No, kasi I've done some other races na talagang kakabukas lang, but sometimes late mo mag-start, alam mo yun, tapos parang hindi clear kung saan na starting point ng podium or whatever. So, yeah.
Ano yun?
Tatalo mo ba?
Mag-subscribe kayo.
Subscription na naman.
Oo nga eh. Talaga. May ganun nga, no? Oo nga, yeah. When you try to also, invite people, definitely it's destination swimming. Kasi nakita ko doon sa page ng social media, di ba? 2.5 to 15 kilometers, no?
Yes.
Destination swimming in the Philippines.
True. Yeah,
Yung gusto kong tanong yan eh. Yung 15 kilometers, 10 kilometers, parang kung nag-ultraman ka niyan, di ba? Meron, saan yung 8-10 kilometers ito to Coach Swim? Saka, dire-diretso ba yan? Or, island to island, I assume.
The 15
The 15.
is island to island.
Ito yung sa Nido.
Caramoan.
Caramoan, yeah. Alright.
Caramoan.
Which is also coming up, no?
In
Caramoan is
October.
coming up. October, yeah.
Yes.
Tamigil is May.
8K. Yes.
8K.
8.
Wow.
Ang
Parang,
shortest nila.
Two.
Oh, ito.
And we call it the toughest 2K you'll ever swim.
Okay, naman.
itong sa Camiguin.
Coming in, yes. Because it's all along the coastline, the 2K. But the 2K is under a constant current. Yeah, so it's a tough swim, but then because it's along the coastline, at certain points, it's shallow enough to stand at. Yeah, so we're
Shallow enough to stand.
some sections. Yeah.
Okay.
For the two.
Hindi naman mabato, Coach, na
No, it's sand, volcanic sand actually.
White sand? Or
Oh, yeah. Camiguin nga pala.
volcanic?
The start line is from the mainland, which is all volcanic black sand, and then 5 and 8 are at White Island, so it's super white naman on that side. When they cross back and forth.
Wow. So, kumbaga, nag-feel ko rin kasi it's not just, for triathletes. It's a training session, training race, basically for you. But also you get to do also your vacation spot na ang gaganda. No, Camiguin, and then you have El Nido, di ba?
Yes.
Lobo is also very, very nice and lovely. Kasi ano siya, very preserved talaga. No? Yeah. It's sanctuary.
Correct.
Diba? It's a marine sanctuary.
Marine sanctuary. Sa Malabrigo, marine sanctuary. Yeah.
When you do these races, Coach, do you feel that SwimJunkie also plays a role in terms of yung preservation of the ocean, the seas, and everything? So, not just racing it, kasi you partner with LGUs, tama, di ba?
Yeah. For example, first, when I started SwimJunkiechallenge, it was my main goal was to introduce the Philippines as an open water swimming destination. to the world. To the world. That was like the umbrella goal, really. And then I had the chance to do Lobo because I worked with Akiko Thompson Guevara. Yes, and Akiko lives in Lobo, and she says, I really want you to see this place. And she said, we need some help with awareness of the Verde Island Passage, which at the time, this is the center of marine biodiversity, and it's already a hope spot, which is recognized globally. Hope spot means it should be it's recognized as a world significant location for marine biodiversity. So at the time, Lobo was being pressured into accepting mining operations. Yes, and so whatever happens in the mountains, will flow into the Verde Island Passage, and hundreds of thousands, millions are affected or are dependent on all of these little industries that are in the Verde Island. So, we did the swim. We were very vocal. We were featured on ABS-CBN. All shouting, no to mining.
I couldn't buy it.
And it was funny because the mining was stopped. If you bring people there and you show that there are people who are aware, number one, people are aware. Number two, they care about it. We were able to do that. And then every year we would give a portion when we could, because that changed after the pandemic. Right? We would give some of our proceeds to the Verde Island Passage Institute, which is in charge of all of the maintenance and preservation efforts.
Wow, galing, no? So, swimming talaga with a cause also.
Yeah.
Diba? Wow. And this nakita ko, actually when you Google open water swimming in the Philippines in YouTube, which YouTube channel pops up?
Wow.
Pinay-try channel. Swimming in Lobo 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
It's so funny.
Yung naka-ano pa kayo noon? Naka-mask pa nun si Coach. Hindi masyado marinig yung maganda mong boses, Coach, at that time.
Kay Coach talaga yung video na yun. So, knowing ko ulit. May camera na ako ngayon, pwede nag-isa.
Coach, konting reminiscing background. You kasi di ba ang background mo talaga, swimmer ka talaga in college, in UP?
Even before that.
Even before that?
Even before college.
I'll keep you ng picture.
So,
Meron siyang picture.
talagang young. Sa bagay.
We started, the story there is, my dad always wanted boys. and then God said, here's 3 girls. So my dad was so frustrated. He said, no, all of my girls have to be in sports.
Okay.
So he made sure he bought us bikes, everything. And then when the school had tryouts for the school swim team, he made us all go. So all 3 of us qualified.
Sporty si Daddy.
Sports dad.
Okay.
But he had, foresight. It was very cool. I mean, against the grain kind of thinking, but I'm so glad we did it. So he put us all on, we all got on the team, and then I was so lucky, we were so lucky to have a coach it's a school team, okay? The coach, when there was tryouts for the national team, I was only 12 at the time. Every single person on that school team who tried out made it to the national team.
Wow.
Because that coach was special. His name was Jeff Hammett. He's my favorite. Yes. He lives in Manila.
Wow.
Okay.
Shout out, Coach.
Yes. Hi, Jeff. He walked me down the aisle. He gave me a whip. We went. Because my founder passed much earlier.
Galing ano, coach. So,
Kay Coach Julian.
yeah, coach po. Very young, tapos, syempre, transitioned also to high school, college.
Yeah.
It's
National team.
national team. pa.
National team. And then captain of the UP varsity in
Wow.
Yes.
Any mga kilala mo na figure na nag-Olympics or during your time?
Oh, well, Akiko.
So, you were with Akiko?
Yeah, that's where we were friends. She's actually my sister, my youngest sister's close friend. Same age. But Akiko was there. Christine was way ahead. Was not way ahead. No, sorry, Chris.
Christine Jacob?
Yeah, Christine Jacob at the time. Yeah, that's pretty much the
Swing talaga to si Coach.
Yeah, and very wise. So yung
Yeah. Kasi, yun nga, nabanggit ko kay Coach earlier na I used to also swim when I was in college. Pero at that times, Eric Buhain was already the coach of Mapua at the time.
Wow.
So, I swam for NCAA. Imagine.
Oh my God.
Secret.
Oh my God.
Secret age.
Ito na ako sinabi ko sa age group eh. Diba? So, isa din sa mga weakness of most of the triathletes is actually open water swimming.
It's swimming
Diba?
period.
Swimming period. Yeah. Any thoughts on that? Kasi Pinay tribe, ang dami na. Di ba? And I'm sure, Coach Vanessa, marami kang mga mga estudyante talaga na Coach, gusto kong I want to improve on my swim time. Di ba?
Yes, lahat naman sila. Or at least survive. Survive. Ang kinikater ko talaga kasi is beginners. So,
Yes.
I would like to really take care of them. So, ang ano ko talaga, ang pinaka-push ko, pag nag-70.3, yan, sila. Sabi po, mamilbo kayo. So, pinupush talaga namin kasi it's a really good base ground for that, yung 2.5 nila for their Ironman 70.3. And yung current pa is gonna make them really strong, di ba?
Totoo.
So,
Totoo.
at saka malapit lang sa Metro Manila, so hindi siya ganong ka-taxing to travel upon to, especially if you're just beginning in this sport. So, lagi yan, pinupush ko yung mga athletes ko. And of course, nakikita naman natin Coach Bets pag may clinic siya, open water clinic, pinupush ko rin na, "Hoy, okay yan, pumunta kayo doon." You'll learn a lot as well.
Totoo.
So, pag hindi sila kasya sa schedule ko, yan, kay Coach Bets din na. Tsaka Coach Bets is also my coach. My swim coach. Ay, masyado siya mabait. Correct, masyado. Masyado siya mabait, guys.
Ganun ba?
Pero may video ako sa kanya, ha? So if you want to do video like
that's a video.
Underwater?
swim analysis, yes.
Yeah.
Kasi lahat ng front, back, side, below, please contact her for the swim
So you
analysis.
have the swim video analysis underwater.
Boy pa ba yun?
Tapos may ka coach.
Oh, let's look right.
Meron kang underwater
She takes a video of how I swam.
It's different now though. So I take the video, and then you have like the session is the video taking, and then I will spot your 3 most critical errors, and then I give you drills that you can already start working on for those 3 critical issues in your form. And then while that's happening, I'm editing the video. And then when I give you the video, it's fully labeled, and now I narrate. I say what's going on, because I noticed that some people forget. Like for example, if you watched your video from before years ago,
Old school kasi.
you wouldn't remember what your error was.
Yeah, the app kasi is different now.
Yeah.
So fast na right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
So now it's fully narrated. I say exactly what's happening and what's the problem is, and I point it out. I'll circle stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mga lines din.
Yeah.
Nice. Dati rin naman coach namin
Yeah.
mga lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tapos naka-private. Yeah. Or sabi naman sa sa akin. Para makita ko yung before and after.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
May tawag na ako eh. Papakita ko sa'yo.
Ay, bago pa rin. So good. Yung, pero Coach, when you see it in the pool, how does it translate to the open water? So sometimes, di ba, choppy, medyo taas nung,
Oo,
I remember nung Ironman, about 2023.
All form goes on.
Lobo, no? Yeah. Ano yan?
22?
Tawag?
Which one?
Yung bumagyo. Subik, yeah. Can happen. Even ngayon nga, parang hindi mo na masabi, no? Even in Subic, in Davao, or in Cebu, talagang undercurrent or something like that, di ba? How do you, that, Coach? Kasi wala na talagang, control pagdating sa open water, di ba?
So one of the slides in my clinic, because we have something theoretical before we get into the water. So one of the slides in the clinic is there a perfect swim form for open water? I asked everybody that, and then they try to answer, and the answer is no. Because it depends on the conditions of that day, and then I say how you react to those conditions is determined, or the foundation of that is built in the pool, and then during things like the clinic or your exposure in open water before the actual race day. Yeah, so you have to have that in your pocket, like, oh, it's wavy. These are the things that I have to take out of my pocket and deploy. Yeah. All of that happens in training. Ang lalim ng sagot.
Parang nag-flashback.
Anong race yan?
Yeah. Hindi kasi, I want to also open the conversation yan. Like for example, I know someone na what happened was he got to actually save someone during the open water span. I don't know, 51-50 race in Bohol. But actually, the person that he saved was died. So now, in the open water, may trauma na siya. Oo. So, siguro Coach, itong topic na to, yeah, you've practiced this. Alam mo yung yung mga kailangan mong gawin in these scenarios. Pero because of this, you cannot, alam mo yun, there were time na parang
Hindi mo na alam.
it goes dark on you. Di ba yung parang nasa ilalim ko lang ng open water. What would you advise to these types or kinds of athletes? So, confidence rebuilding ba ulit? Meditate? Or swim with a buddy? Or swim time more? Swim pa more? Diba? Kasi very valid din naman. Kasi talaga, when nakausap ko siya, kaya pala, na gano'n yung niya. No? Pagdating sa pool, ang bilis niya. Pero, when it gets in open water, ano nangyari?
Yes.
Parang gano'n. So, yeah.
It's a case-to-case basis, I would say. For example, I was coaching someone who drowned, almost drunk as a child. So he wanted to finish 51-50, but so I was checking his form. Every time he turned his head to breathe and water touched his mouth, he would stop and start panicking, sputter. Yes, yeah, panic, and then of course he'd go vertical, and then when you get vertical, you get tired, all of that, and then it snowballs until you can no longer finish the race because you're breathing hard, etc. So I realized it was just the feeling of water touching his mouth, meaning I can't breathe because the water's going to go in my mouth. So I explained to him, and I even took a video and I showed him, look, you stop because the water touches your mouth. That's it. You're not, the water isn't actually going inside.
Okay.
It's just touching your mouth, and then you stop and you panic. I go, you're not tired. Okay, but I had to show it to him because when I guess when you're convinced that you have a fear that you unless someone actually shows you your reaction, which was really weird. So I showed that to him and I go, so we're going to have to try. Because I go, there's no magic that we can, it's all going to have to come from you. And I go, everything else, I'm here, I'm right beside you, nothing will happen to you. It's not so shallow, you can stand. All of that, all of these things I was telling him. So he did finish, but then he never swam again.
Gusto lang pala mo overcome. Wow. Coach, but ikaw, first-hand experience with your...
Yeah, for my athletes, especially kasi beginners sila. Ano ko talaga is practice in the water. So before we do hit the open water, we have open water simulations, mga worst case scenarios, what we're gonna do. Ang una kong tinuturo sa kanila is what are you gonna do if you start active? So for we practice on floats, we practice I call it banana boat. So banana boat. So boat tapos banana boat banana. So umiikot-ikot sila sa pool. And then once we hit the open water, I put a body system talaga. So body system, and then ako as a coach, talagang I swim around them. Kung sino mas kailangan ng tapos anuan ko talaga, tututukan ko. So, before we go into the deep, merong mga, drills na naman na ginagawa kami doon muna sa shallow part para ma-feel nila. And then I tell them what to expect. Like, there's gonna be a turtle, don't be or if there's a sea snake. So I tell them everything that can happen and that they're gonna be okay. So, dapat talaga parang paulit-ulit lang eh. And then one technique that I tell them is have a song in your head. So they can sing it and they're still in the rhythm. Kasi pag nawala yung song na yun, baka kaya magrasahin na sila. Baka nag-panic sila.
Ganun siya,
Yeah, it's a calming, I know. It really is, it's a calming effect.
Kendrick Lamar pala,
Yeah. Very helpful. Psychologically, parang it calms you down if you have happy tune in your head. So, yun. Yung ginagawa namin.
Basically, talagang letting that person talaga be calm or
Just parang siya, immersion. And syempre, every person kasi is different, diba, coach? So, may mga mabibilis na, wow, ang lakas na loob agad. Tapos lang talaga na parang it takes time. And that's okay. That's okay. I understand that it's okay.
Alright.
Nothing wrong.
Galing ng mga advices.
Mga advices.
Hopefully, yung mga may kinig sa atin, they will also be more confident in the water. Di ba? The confidence building talaga yan. Kasi even if you have the skills, definitely if you don't have that confidence, hindi mo siya ma-apply yun, di ba?
You more time talaga sa water.
Yes.
Swim pa more.
Swim time talaga. Yeah. Coach, so we talked about siyempre yung overcoming fear and establishing confidence in the water. From seasoned or experienced
Mas season si coach.
Triathletes and now coaches, di ba? What would be your advice to ano pa rin, no? For people to over, or for example, be strong on their swim, especially in the open water. Kasi marami pa rin yun pa rin talaga yung iniisip nila. Especially on the race. We're talking about triathlon, for example. Every time that you race, bagal ko sa swim. Di ba? Alam mo yun? Tapos next time, gagawin ko na itong 35. Hindi pala 47 pa din. Alam mo yun? Ano yun? So, ano yung mga best tips in the open water, especially when racing? Siyempre, when you're in the pool, you're just on one lane, another lane. But in the actual, ang dami yan. Yung ano ba? Washing machine, sinasabi nila. No, aside from the current and everything. So, your best tips, Coach Betsy. Yeah.
Okay.
Ayaw mo ba? O,
Okay, number one is form. That's
Form.
Form.
Okay.
Fix your form first because any errors you have in the pool will be
Well, translate. Yeah.
not just drastic, magnified.
Magnify. Oh my gosh.
In the open water. So fix your form first because if you swim with low legs and low hips, that's terrible in the open water.
Drag.
Yeah, drag and also if there are waves, the pool at least has a calm surface. And if you're swimming low and then there are waves around you, it makes it even more difficult. So form first, yes, and then
Form.
yes, and then all of the skills necessary to do your swim should be honed in the pool.
All right.
Okay, so I get so many requests for, can I join this clinic even if I've never swum in? It's it's like
I've never.
I've never swum in the open water before, which is fine. I go as long as you can swim at least 700 meters in your pool nonstop. Okay, and why do I ask that? Is because it's too risky to show up in open water when you don't even have the endurance to swim 700 meters.
Yeah.
And then the second is how can you retain any lessons at the clinic if you're already tired because you have no endurance? So it's form, and then you must have the basic endurance and basic swimming skills worked out in the pool. You don't have to be great, but I mean, that's the base. Like 700 meters is the base for you. And then after that is exposure and frequency.
Exposure and frequency. So form, and then being brilliant in the basics.
Not brilliant, but you should already have
A good foundation.
yes,
Good
correct.
foundation.
Yes, not brilliant. I'm not brilliant.
Picture brilliant. And then yung frequency. Yung
Exposure and
exposure
frequency. Like
Okay.
every time we have bad swimming conditions at a clinic, I'm like, yay, this is great. Because
Siya pala yung tuma-
everybody gets their ROI because right? If we only show up,
Learn talaga siya.
correct. If we only show up when everything is perfect, there's no guarantee your race day will be perfect, right? So embrace as long as it's safe, you're in safe conditions, there are marshals, etc. Be happy about exposing yourself to top, like when it's wavy or if it's windy. Get that in before race day.
Yeah. Parang coach no, in the worst conditions, doon ka mag-train or, kahit paano na-experience mo yun. Challenging. So, mga vocabulary. Nasa extremes no? Yeah.
Nakakatawa.
Coach Julian, tanong ko sa'yo, mga best drills na pinapagawa mo, paddles buoy, more on the kicks. Diba? Kasi yun naman yung makakano sa'yo eh. Oo eh. Baka alam mo na, magsasubscribe naman sila eh. More on, sculling ba? Yung mga
Sculling is working good too.
Oo, yung mga, ano bang tawag?
Favorite ni Coach yan. Favorite ni Coach yan. Pinapagawa sa akin.
Drill on the left. Ano yung mga best?
For open water swim, great drills na is very important. Number one talaga is yung heads up drill.
Hands up.
Yeah, so this one, you will, talaga, para you can control yourself while you're looking around. Kasi syempre, hindi naman tayo nakaganon lang. Kasi we need to look around. There's no lines in the open water. So, maganda talaga mag-practice nun. So, you can also like, kahit nakatingin ka, mataas pa rin yung feet mo. So, how are you gonna be able to do that? So, that's why you really practice that.
Okay.
Swimming like that. Tapos, parang hindi masakit sa likod, di ba? Coach, kasi lagi ka nakaganon.
Ito yung lang may aso.
Hindi.
Parang,
dog yun, dog sculling. Ganun pa rin siya. So parang, I think more on...
So, parang sighting.
Volleyball, water polo. Yeah,
Water polo.
Yeah.
So, it strengthens your shoulders and then also your core.
So, kasi it does that.
The water polo drill is for us anyway. When I train my guys, is to strengthen the back of your neck and the upper the upper
back.
yeah,
Okay.
Parang,
for standing and
Alright.
without dropping your hips.
Without dropping your hips.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, dapat mo nakasin yung catch.
Susunod
Yeah.
kayo.
Number two is the Finnish skull. So the Finnish skull or the Finnish heel, para they can remember to finish their strokes. And sometimes they just do
Yeah.
strokes and
Yeah.
nawawala na yung feel of water doon. Especially this one is going to hoist you forward, more forwards. This one is your power and the push
Okay.
talaga. Kasi naka-streamline ka na. So don't forget your finish.
Finish. Okay.
The finish. And I also have my pinaka-favorite ko na drill. Long dog drill. So the long dog drill is like you're doing freestyle there under the water. So it's the catch
okay.
and the finish at the same time. Pero you're just staying there. So this one naman feel of water siya. Even if it's magulo na yung tubig, at least you know where to find your pulse or fight. And like kasi nasabi si Amila, dapat kondensada ang feel.
Ano yung kondensada?
So, ibig sabihin, heavy dapat yung nakikita sa water. Because sometimes they're just moving their hands and they're not catching any water. So it really has to be like that.
So, ano ba, Coach? The more water that you put,
Yeah.
ba yan na?
More efficient pulling.
Yeah, you should, your palm, wrist, and forearm should
Okay.
always be in contact with the water versus sliding through it or slipping through.
Okay.
You should actually feel like there's something, you're pushing something back.
Parang ka-anchor ka na dun sa water.
Yeah.
For over the barrel.
Yeah.
Ay, ano yung sinasabi ni Coach? Naalala ko.
Galing. Oo nga, no?
Diba ilang years na tayo no, Coach?
Gano'n ba kayo kasama since Army Navy try?
Yeah.
Or even before pa?
Army Navy is my first and ever, the ever.
First ever.
Tri-team
Since anong year?
Sila coaches before pa eh. I got recruited 2012 ako commissioned. 2012, yes.
2012.
Ito sila
Wow.
coach. 2009.
Yeah.
That was all right pa, coach. Hindi
Yeah,
pa Navy, right?
Russia Army Navy, 2010, I think, 11. Okay.
Yeah. Kasi I remember Army Navy was one of the OG teams. Di ba?
Oh, ba?
Yes.
Oo. Isa yan sa mga nauna talaga.
OG talaga kayo?
OG.
Kayo coach. Kayo po. OG po kayo.
Yun yung mga century try
Fitness first
before,
was
fitness first. Yeah, fitness
All
first.
try was ours.
All out try. Yun yung mga na hanggang ngayon nandyan pa. Yeah. Galing. Wow.
Nabuhay na ulit kami. New blood.
Now, I'm gonna talk about, syempre ngayon, technology also goes to it, di ba? And everything. Kumbaga, in swimming, there's also technology, like yung mga goggles na, talk about form goggles. Before I used to use, maraming revelation ko.
This is for the subscription.
Pero I used to use before yung tempo trainer. So I used to do that before.
Yeah.
Pero wala talaga akong tempo. Di kasi ako gumagano sa So, ayun. What's your take on these gadgets that you think it could also be a very good help to swimmers now?
Okay. Before I noticed a lot of people were using the tempo trainer for rhythm, their pull rhythm, but there are actually much more beneficial ways to use it for pacing. Pacing means you can time the beat. For example, if I want to swim a 1 minute, 100 meters, I have to swim.
Wow.
No, this is an example. This is an example to make the calculation easy. I have to swim 25 meters, 15 seconds, right? To swim 100 meters. So you can time the beat to go off every 15 seconds. So if I swim and I swim 100, for example, and I turn, oh, my sound effect. Yes, I turn and it beeps at 15. I'm good.
Yes.
So you don't have to literally like look at your watch up every time. You listen to the beep and then you know you are swimming at your pace. And you can do this and slow down the pace to stay consistent throughout a 1.5 or consistent throughout a 1.9 instead of having these like fluctuations like I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad. Right? So
Medyo technical, coach. Yung CSS, you compute that so that you
Yeah.
can,
Threshold.
diba? You put it on the timing, the pace, right?
Yes, yeah.
On the tempo trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
oo nga. Yeah. Kasi nakalimutan ko na yung CSS. Sabi ko, ganun pa rin.
We just did a set this morning. It hurt a lot.
Oh, may kawan yun.
How about the goggles, coach? What do you think of the technology? Oh, wala.
Oo, meron na ngayon, iba yung yung form na alam mo na kung saan yung route.
Yeah.
Yun nga
So
lang.
I was like, that's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, we have.
That's helpful.
I coach some guys who use form during practice,
Yeah.
and it's sometimes I feel like it's data overload while they're swimming. It's data overload. They're like, and they lose focus of the intent of that workout for the day. Because they're just looking at so many figures on their lens. So, yeah, it's a 6. Sorry, I can't. Anyway, never mind.
The subscribe.
Yes. Never mind.
Di ba, okay lang. This is
No, just like so. That's my thing about the farm goggles is that they lose focus of the actual intent of a workout. If there is one. But it's very cool. I mean, who would have thought, years ago that you could actually see your stroke? I mean, live.
Ngayon nga yung heart rate mo nandun.
Madaduling na nga.
Or correct yourself while swimming. Your course line.
Yeah, your course.
Super cool. Yeah, super cool.
The course. Oh,
But I'm always straight without.
Yeah.
Because of Coach Betsy.
galing eh.
They're heavy. They're heavier
Medyo,
than.
yeah, medyo.
So, for example, like in SwimJunkie Challenge, we're okay if you want to use form goggles during our race. We're okay with that. But I always warn them: 10K, 15K swimmers, you're going to feel the weight.
Oo.
You're going to get
I actually have the first one, yung form na first one. Parang medyo makapal siya.
Yeah.
So whenever I push off,
Nakakaganon. Yes.
push off ka sa wall, so we drag.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's always in my mind, it's a drag, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, this one, I never used it again.
So, if you think of it, walang limang na yung mga swimmers na mention mo, Akiko, Steve Joy ko, so, everyone, they never use that before. Pero,
Yeah.
tignan mo lang bibilis, di ba? I mean, siguro. But yeah, I mean, siguro, technology can help when we were
Yeah,
one way.
kahit sa garden din naman, di ba? It's sabi nga ng Coach Taisuta, it's like, if something's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Don't be a slave to your gadgets. Yeah, it's always how you feel because you're not a robot. Very individual sa fitness din.
Okay. Ito, siguro baka controversial. Total immersion.
True.
What do you think of it?
Anong contribution din?
Total immersion swimming. Oh.
Ano yun? Please, Coach. Ako! Ano na ako? Guys, ano ba talaga? Hindi ko alam talaga kung ano naman tayo. Lagi ako na-invite.
Kasi ikaw ang figure eh.
Figure?
Kasi iba-ibang course na. Iba-ibang
Method.
Yeah.
Method.
Norwegian, amphibian. Amphibian method.
Dinosaur pa rin.
So it really depends also on the coach. Parang gano'n yan. No, if kung ano ang naging training or backup. Ganun ba yun?
Okay.
Iba-ibang methods yan.
Mas ma-answer ni Coach.
Oo nga.
I found that if you're learning how to swim and you want to do a race and you're kind of new, total immersion is a very nice way to learn in terms of saving energy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
energy efficient. The
Okay.
form is very energy efficient. In terms of on my end though, for open water swimming, the variety, the extremes that you will face in the open water in terms of water conditions, that method of swimming does not suit a lot of the conditions in
Yeah.
open water.
Nagpapasif talaga. Iboto niyo po numbers sa balon. Galing. Ayaw. Kasi it's been there for quite some time. Kasi nga, syempre, marami lang yung mga newbies syempre na manunood and mga kaparinig nito. So, you have it there eh. You have it out there eh. So, siguro, it's there also their decision around it to look at this different types of methods.
Here's an example. I'll give you an example.
Sige po. Triathlete 8 and... Okay.
If you watch if you had a chance to watch the Tokyo Olympics for the open water swim, the 10K, they were swimming with the current going one way and against the current going the other way. Going, it was so fast that their arms were turning on their own practically because of how fast. So if you employed TI in that situation, you would be in so much trouble because TI is based on a regular rhythm and a long stroke. Right, regular long stroke. You wouldn't be able to keep up with it, keep your TI going that whole way. And then on the way back, it was the current was against. And you could see how everyone's stroke would change depending on which direction they were going. And you only have that. You're only able to change your strokes because you've practiced it somewhere before, and not because you're sticking to one method.
Yeah, it should be a really good mix of everything.
Yeah.
Oo nga. Safe pa din?
Talaga ni Coach. Kaya siya na pinapa-answer ko.
Yeah.
Go answer that.
Okay na ako.
Yeah, oo nga. No, Coach, at least, I mean, for every listeners on the Spotify page and also on YouTube, so syempre, they have these options that is available here in the Philippines, and you can be equipped with this particular method or this method depending on
Your flavor. What's your flavor? What's your flavor?
Yeah. Wow, so ang dami natin na-cover, Coach. Grabe, no?
Pero same tayo dun.
Oo nga. Yun yung Kasi akala nila, maraming sinasabi na i-shocklist na daw, scripted. Oo, yan eh.
Oo nga. Extra lang talaga ako. For the flavor.
Oo. So, open water swimming, it's something na talagang mag-evolve. Or do you think, Coach, na was it involved or what's next for SwimJunkie? Yeah. May mga set-up clinics? Yung additional venues or destinations that you're eyeing? Or probably...
Lagi yan si Coach Julian Valencia.
Ako, siguro kung hindi lang sa Pilipinas, kasi may mga one of the hardest yata, few of the hardest are, for example, Arthur Class, English Channel, di ba maraming ano yung vision mo for SwimJunkie, Coach, in the future? Yeah.
Well, if I can just rewind a little.
Okay.
When we first started, we convinced everyone to swim 7K without multiple loops. So that was the first thing we did. And then the next year, we introduced the 10K. then we asked people, okay, do a 10K island hop. Then the next year, and then the next 2 years later, we asked them to do a 10K marathon, which was non-stop, no island stop. It was just a straight 10K. Okay, and then the next following year, we had 15K, because as we grew, all our swimmers were growing with us. So, right? So their capacity was also like, yeah, we're getting stronger, and we provided the platform for them to get stronger, which didn't exist before. Right? How are people going to get better at open water swimming if we don't organize open water swims and we don't challenge the people who join our swims? That's why I call it SwimJunkie Because it's not SwimJunkie walk in the park. So, and cut to today where we have the 15K. Next year is our 10th year anniversary in Caramoan.
Wow.
2026 is our 10th year, so there will be stuff happening next year. Yeah.
Next year.
Next year,
One of my favorite things about how everything has grown with us is, so when I first started, I wanted to do SwimJunkiechallenge because, like, I want people to swim with me. I'm swimming all alone. I want you to see what I see. Right? This is so much fun. It's great. So created the swim so that I would have people swimming with me. And now we launched the Philippine Open Water Swim Crossings Association.
Oh, yeah.
Which is POSCA. And POSCA is solo swim crossing. Before we said, come, I will make this really safe for you. And so you can swim 5K and 10K, but it's super safe. Have fun. But now it's a solo swim crossing. You swim and cross to another island by yourself. Because walang boat ba yan? You have one is to one boat to one person, but it's still a solo crossing. You're really all by yourself, and that's only made possible because we made all of our swimmers get confident, get more open to adventure.
This is the one in Maritapan. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're looking at opening 2 more crossing locations. Yeah.
But are you allowed to say it? Or
Not yet.
Not yet. Surprise. Oh.
Mamaya magsabihin sa akin.
Kaya mag-subscribe ka. Oh.
Yeah, so that's one of the coolest things is that everybody, and I think the sport has grown with us. Well, one of the things I really wanted to do was to make SwimJunkie a platform for elite swimmers to get discovered.
Yeah, may naman tayo mga
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another thing. That's still one thing that I'm trying to.
madevelope for Olympics, man.
Oh. Especially the younger, siguro, no? Generation, yeah.
Nalakas na ilan ako. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, parang napapasigos yun nga. Pagka open water swim, talagang nasa medyo older, na demographic,
Because it's an expensive sport, I think. It's very much like, when I was handling the national elite program for open water swimming, just finding funds. And then when you explain to them why we need funds, you have to fly. Because, apart from swimming driving distance, I did have swimmers from Davao. So to them, swimming in Metro Manila, going to Anilao, it's not as cheap as right? So sometimes you would fly somewhere else. We need airfare, we need hotel, we need the food, and then it all adds up. And then
Race-cation na siya.
which is also great. Yeah.
Parang triathlon.
Yeah, so when you look at it, it's kind of expensive in that sense.
Oy, pero mas mura siya kasi hindi ka magdadala ng bike.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, naka-backpack lang ako. Pag race-cation kasi. Goggles.
But it's worth it.
The essential is the buoy, diba? Yung tow buoy. Alright.
Tsaka magandang challenge yung kay Coach kasi walang line.
From the beginning, never.
So, siguro, kasi dito naman sa atin, pagka Iron Race, di ba merong lanes?
Wala. Good thing wala.
Ngayon wala na. Oo. Tinanggal na.
Naalala ko pa yung Cebu dati, first ko ata Cebu, may nakakapit na sa late night. Sabi niya, ayoko.
Ito yung ano to. Yung ano ka.
I'm not sure. I think that was like 2014.
Siyam na pa.
Yeah, siya
Oh,
na pa yun.
yeah.
Which is so amazing that I could just see these two guys. Wala pa sila sa lane night. She's like, okay. Dahil pa nagsuka daw talaga.
So, very exciting times for SwimJunkie. Coach Betsy.
Queen mo siya. The Queen of Open
The Queen of
Water.
Open Water. Finally here on set in the studio. And,
To be here with, Coach!
so, siguro we'll be closing this with your, ano ba, you want to thank anyone or invite
Yes.
the swimmers who haven't tried or haven't tasted SwimJunkie. Now is the best time to try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our open water season is starting.
Yes.
So we have 2 races coming up in May. May 4 is in Camiguin. We
Yeah.
have the 2K.
Ba't na natin yung saan?
in Camiguin. To Mark, 2K, 5K, and 8K swims in Camiguin. It's beautiful. That place is beautiful. More people should really see Camiguin. It's just so gorgeous there.
Yeah.
And the swim is fantastic. So,
Oh.
and then on May 18, we have VIP Lobo, SwimJunkiechallenge VIP Lobo, 2.5 and 5.
Yeah.
Yes. And in October, we have SwimJunkiechallenge Caramoan. And then dotted in between, we have our swim clinics. And then we also have our Anilao training swims called Strong Shoulders. These are 1.5, 2.5, 3.5K. Really nice, easy to get to, short swims. What I love about them is you train with people you don't know. And why is that good? Because during race day, you don't know the people you train.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you keep training with your friends and teammates, you get too comfortable because you can read them. So it's nice to mix it up and swim like people you don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good advice, Coach. Saka dami na pala, no? Oo. Grabe.
Kung saan natin
Exciting.
mahanap yung mga information, just in case para mahanap nila.
Good question.
Yeah.
Where?
Can we follow you?
We will post it here, guys.
Dyan. Your socials, Coach. Your socials, Coach.
Yes, we're on Facebook. We're SwimJunkie Challenge,
SwimJunkie
or
Challenge.
just add water. That's a SwimJunkiePH.
The blog.
On the blog, Facebook, and then we're on Instagram as well. SwimJunkiePH, yes, or SwimJunkie Challenge. We're also on YouTube. We're also
YouTube, guys. Alright. So socials, Facebook, Instagram, just add water, the blog,
and SwimJunkie Challenge.
SwimJunkie Challenge. Wow.
Yes.
So folks, check out SwimJunkie, their upcoming races, their strong shoulder swim clinics. Definitely you'll get a lot from Coach Betsy. And what I like about Coach Betsy is ano siya, yung hindi siya...
Kalamasik po.
Very safe. And hindi siya...
You'll be safe.
You'll be safe. Saka yung pag talagang advice, di ba?
Yes.
Wow, advice to.
And
Meron sa mga coach talaga,
decades talaga. Decades.
Oo. Yeah, and Army Try is still there. So, syempre, talagang, ano pa rin, sumasali pa sa races. Oo. Sort of.
We're coming back.
That's it. Yes.
SwimJunkie Coach Vanessa, anything that you like to plug? Pinay Tribe? Grabe.
Pinay Tribe, guys. Dumadami na tayo. Always, guys, pag gusto niyo ng advice for open water swim, Coach Betsy is the person to go to. Instagram, medyo 3 days lang siya mag-reply. She will try to reply. Pag hindi, mag-message mo lang sa akin, ako mag-text text sa kanya. The IG handle.
Manager.
Yung, ano mo, kasi parang dati ko pang invite si Coach, but she's so busy. Like, Coach, let's do a YouTube together. So I could show to the world how really awesome your video analysis is. So, pinupush ko talaga.
Yeah.
Love ko yan.
Yeah, I feel the love. Grabe, sobra. So, grabe. So much fun, Coach, for today.
Yes.
Thank you, Coach Betsy, for sitting down with us, for sharing.
Yes, I'm a co-host.
Sharing also your expertise, syempre, about Swim Junkie, the reminiscing, grabe. It's a long, I don't know, it's a long way. And then I think Swim Junkie talaga will be something that...
It's the leader.
Ito yung talaga magpuput ng open water swimming in the Philippines in the map. Like that.
Already has it.
Oh, yeah. So, and thank you guys. No? So if you've made it to this video, so I hope that you'll be able to follow and also join the Swim Junkie races and follow also Pinay Chan, Coach Valencia, and Swim Junkie Challenge, Coach Betsy and Coach Valencia of Pinay Chan. Thank you so much. See you soon on the next video. Bye.